Hello, everyone. Vaney here again with what I believe we're going to refer to as Thinking Out Loud Shorts. This is where I just talk about various things that we're seeing in the world, trends that we think are important, because there's so many voices that are encouraging people out there to be negative, to be frustrated, to be disgruntled, to be divisive. Now, I do think it's important for us to talk about things of significance in a way that allows people to hear them and hopefully act upon them. Not everything is going to be about things that are negative. Not everything is going to be about my opinion. I'm less interested in giving folks my opinion, but rather I would like for us to have discussions about ways that we can think that make it more likely that we behave in a way that's going to move us towards what we want. For us to behave in a way that makes it more likely that we're going to engage with each other respectfully and thoughtfully. And one of the big things that I've seen as a trend, and I talk a lot about this in our work, which is the difference between community and customers. And we've come into a time in the world where everyone is a customer. And what you learn about customers is that customers want what they want when they want it for how much they want to pay for it. They don't necessarily care about how they get it. They don't necessarily care about the cost beyond what they have to pay for it. They don't necessarily think about the impact on the people who are making it or any of the other unintended consequences. We're almost paying our money to not have to think about those things. You know, when I go to the grocery store and I buy a steak, part of the reason why I'm paying that much is because I don't necessarily want to engage with the process of it becoming a steak. I just want to be able to pick it up, take it to my house and grill it. But when you allow people to become customers versus community, where community is responsible, empathetic, thoughtful, and considerate of all of those different kind of consequences and all of the people who fit into the process, it makes it easy for us to disconnect with other people. It makes it easy for us to lose empathy for other people or not really be thoughtful about how our decisions impact other people. We studied reviews a lot when we were putting Think 3D together. And I remember looking at a review because we were trying to see how people thought about commerce and what they were getting and what they weren't getting and expectations. And I remember seeing a review, and it said something along the lines of, I bought this toy for my kid, and it worked the way they said it would, but my kid didn't even play with it. 1 star. And I remember thinking how bizarre that was, that somebody would give a 1-star review when the product worked the way the creator said it would work. But what you realize is that's not what mattered to that customer. They didn't care that it did what it said it would do. It didn't care that it meant or that it met their claims. It didn't matter that those people worked hard to create something that could do what they said it could do. None of that mattered. It didn't work the way that person wanted it to. And they aimed that frustrations at the people who created it. And we find ourselves doing that a lot in our communities, where we're customers. We want stuff to work the way we want it to work for how much we want to pay for it, which is usually not that much. And so how do we change this kind of concept to where people are thinking more like a community, that your leaders in the community, the person who's changing the trash liner, the person who's bringing you your food, the person who's driving the truck, the person who teaches your kids, your chiropractor, your doctor, all of those folks are people in our community that we're considerate of, that we're thoughtful of, and that when someone falls outside of our expectations, we don't treat it like a customer where we want to go to Yelp or complain or get a refund, but rather we want to participate in the growth and development of those people because that leads to us having a better and healthier community. You'll hear me talk a lot about civitas, the idea of there being a responsibility to citizenship. That just because you were born here or just because you're an American or just because you're anything, that the world just works the way you want it to. That's a reasonable expectation, that your participation is not expected. And oftentimes it feels like our only expectation to society is to work. And I think there's more to it than that. I think setting the tone for how you want people to talk to and treat each other is a part of your responsibility as a citizen. I believe creating an environment that allows us to be able to come together is a responsibility as a citizen. I think appropriate challenge to infrastructure, to administration, is part of your responsibility as a citizen. I think investing in youth, in the people who are going to be leading beyond you, is part of your responsibility. I'll give you an example. For us, we do Leaders of Tomorrow, our leadership program, and one of the things that I've always said was the reason why I wanted to do that was I didn't want to help develop leaders that were going to follow me. I wanted to help develop leaders that I would follow, because I'm not going to follow everybody. I just recently turned 45 and I can already feel some of the piss and vinegar leaving my body, and me being less interested in fighting the good fight, but rather fighting an intelligent fight, or best case scenario, not fighting at all. And so I know I'm not going to have the energy to do some of the things that I'm doing now. So why not help invest in the leaders now that will be leading us tomorrow? That way I can be happy and satisfied and feel safe with those leaders. I can go to the polls and I can choose between the best of the best versus the lesser of two evils. But how does that happen if you don't teach everyone? And how does that happen if you don't teach them early enough that they can really explore it for themselves and be comfortable with it for when they ascend to those different pockets of power? That's the type of investment. Now, not everybody needs to do what we're doing at the level that we're doing it. There's a lot of people who do plenty. They go to work and they work hard and they make big contributions to the community, and they might coach their kids' softball team or Y-ball team, but that we're making some type of intentional contribution to the community. It used to be we all looked to churches and things of that nature to fill in all of those gaps, and I think we can see that that's not quite the same environment now. And so different people are going to need to engage in different ways. Time, talent, treasure. Some people can give the resources that are necessary. Some people can give their time, and then some people can give their talents. But what are we doing specifically to better our communities? A couple more things just to leave you with. Right now, again, in the world, there's a lot of things that are challenging us, and I hear people all the time. They're trying to pull us apart. They don't want us to, agree. They want us to be at war with each other. One thing that I just think is important for everybody to really think about is they is us, right? There is no they. They is us. Those are people, like we're people. People we agree with, people we don't. They're all humans. They're all people. There is no they. There's an us. And a lot of times we have to be honest about whether or not we're participating and creating environments where this type of thing has to happen. That doesn't mean you don't challenge people. It doesn't mean you don't challenge systems. It doesn't mean you don't challenge policies or thought processes or any of those other types of things. One of the building blocks of love is challenge. There's nobody that you would say loved you that has not taught you something or has not challenged you. So I can care about someone deeply and still feel comfortable challenging them on their thought process, how they talk to people, how they treat people. But what I have to be mindful of is, do I participate in creating an environment where it's less likely that people are going to do and be good because they don't feel good? And if you don't see that as part of your responsibility and being part of a community, I think you miss it. So one of the things I would just encourage everybody to think about, whether it be in your business, whether it be in your homes, is let's stop making customers and let's make community. If there's a product or service or whatever that you need to buy, I don't want you to buy it because I need to make money from you, right? I want you to buy it because it does something for you, because there's value. And that money is exchange is going to do the things that money can do. But ultimately, I want us to be in a good space because you were provided value and you gave me value in return. It's a good, healthy relationship. So you can still have commerce, you can still have capitalism, you can still have business and all these other types of things. But the goal has to be, how do we create a healthy, strong community so we can deal with the challenges that naturally confronts any community. And I think we have an opportunity to do that in a special way. So it's something I want you to think about because it's really important to me. And all of the work that we do, we find this to be one of the most common challenges that people are really dealing with. So stop making customers, stop making community. Have an expectation that people care or are considerate of the human that you are, and make sure you do the same. So every so often we'll keep dropping these different thoughts, some things for you to think about. I would love it if you gave us a like or a share, get into the comments. I'd love to know what you think. This is not meant to be a one-way conversation, but this is just a way that is authentic to me to try to talk to you all, and I'm gonna be refining that over time. But I would love it if you were a part of the conversation, so get down in there, let's see what it is you have to say. Till next time, appreciate you. Be good.